Oh,
And
we're
we're live.
live.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're live, and we have friends, and we get to talk to friends today.
Yes. We like making new friends and talking to them online.
You know,
So all our
and
other friends
we're
online do
finished.
it. Why can't we?
We're gonna be finishing Garth, the last piece for Garth. That is one of our projects of the day.
Oh, I wonder if Graveyard will be in the chat to see it.
Hopefully.
One can hope.
And then I gotta get this printer fixed with settings. I might have to have Zach Deadpool come by and help me. But I gotta get settings reset on this printer so that I can print out the stuff for Grave and then get it all shipped.
Oh yeah, well then he should probably come tomorrow because he normally does distance learning's Jackbox on Fridays.
It's not Jackbox this time. It's well,
Yeah,
really.
I thought it was Jackbox.
It's well, really. It's well, really. Yeah, that's why they were talking about upsetting Shadu so much.
Really? Because in their another chat I saw it was Jackbox. They
Unless they
changed it.
changed it, it's supposed to be yeah. Unless they changed it after last night. Phil was saying it's well, really.
Yeah, I think they changed it because I got a message
Maybe
saying it's Jackbox.
maybe Shadu got lost in the void.
Yeah, 'cause he's busy filming his movie.
That or he's
Him
out
on.
or he's out at his dad's in the internet void.
Yeah, but I mean, we should probably have him on when he has good internet.
He's not lost in the nowheres.
Yeah.
I gotta get more blood. My blood is running low. This dog took half my blood.
Well, at least you're nice and sharing with the dog.
I mean, it looks cool though.
That's what matters.
What's up, Easy Money?
What up, dude? Yes, the screen is black because it's not officially 5:30 just yet.
2 more minutes. Yes, we will be at Comic First. Hey, Sackbull.
We were
What
just
you
talking
do?
about you.
You want to come over and help me fix my printer?
Yeah, easy money. Pre-game. That's what we do.
Yeah. Pre-game on W.
We're not sponsored by them.
Use Nerding 10. It'll be close enough.
True. We promote the distance learning discount code Nerding10.
Not a problem, Sackbull.
Maybe after dinner.
I am
That's
completely
fine.
fine with that. Just have to print things for the grave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the new bowling alley called in West Sac? Is it called Dubby?
Called Boulevard.
It's
It looks
oh,
nice.
it's called Boulevard.
Is it replacing the glow in the dark one or the black light one? Yeah. Is it on West Capitol replacing the glow in the dark one? The black light one was kind of cool. They play freaking like new metal and they freaking had like black white ball stuff. I went over there one time. That place is actually kind of cool.
Yeah. Oh, it's officially 5:30.
Oh, so it's that time.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Time. Oh yeah, I gotta hit my button.
Hello.
Hi everybody. Hello.
Hey, so we have lots of fun for you today. So first of all, we will be telling you guys where to see us.
1 second, I forgot to fix the new one.
This camera. I'm gonna switch this to here. This is what we're working on today. So I went this weekend and got Garth's collar. So it looks too clean. We got dirty it up and we got to bloody it up. So that's project 1. So that we can get this graveyard. Project 2 is the other day we made the foam clay out of that mold, and you guys see a detail kinda. This camera sucks. I'm getting a new one tomorrow. This, I think that is actually the location. But this thing is supposed to be black with some like silvers and stuff on the surface. It is the collar piece and belt piece for Spawn. So if we finish this up while talking to our guest, I'll just switch over and keep going on this thing. All right, without further ado, let's bring out our guest. Our guest is a sculptor that makes very interesting pieces of clay. Mr. Ken Nash.
Hey,
Yay! We don't have a soundboard.
How's it going, Ken?
going fine. How are you?
All right. So, what you working on right there? What's your
Well, I'm
current project you're working on
there? I sold out of this guy right away at Meadowlark, and decided that first thing I do when I get back was I've got to start making some more of them. So this is going to be Clyde. He's just a pokey eyeballed brain monster, and you can see right there. That's sort of what he looks like. Follows my basic brainy eyeballed template. So right now I just carved out a spot for his mouth, and I'm going to start my brain work, which is I just take a long thing of clay and start doing little squiggles all around, and that's how I make brains.
What kind of clay is that you're working with?
It's super sculpey polymer clay. You can buy just about anywhere, and it bakes in
That
your
one, the
oven.
one.
Pardon me?
Yeah, that's what I thought that was. That's one more to bake in the oven. How is that stuff about? I know with like normal clay, when you bake it, if you don't leave breathe ports and you have a hollow spot, it'll break on you. How is that stuff about like behaving?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand the question.
So I know in like normal pottery clay, when you throw it in the kiln, sometimes it'll explode on you if you have an air pocket. How is that stuff about if you have an air pocket in it? Does it tend to crack out on you?
I haven't had any problem with that. But you have to keep it thin. So what I do is I make an armature out of wire, then I wrap that. I basically make the character with tinfoil, and then do a 1/4 inch clay over top of that. And I've never had a problem with it exploding. You use a very low temperature in a conventional oven. I use the same oven that we bake cookies in, and it works well. This is what stuff looks like when it comes out. And then I cast that in a rubber mold like these guys. And
That looks like you're using some freaky. let's move on.
It is.
Silicone there.
I'm a total smooth on guy. I'm Umu 30. I can't recommend it highly enough because you don't have to use a pressure, any kind of pressure thing. I don't do that. And then I rotocast them by continually turning them. And so they're hollow inside, real cheap for me to ship.
Keep them light. Makes sense.
Yeah, keep them light. That's right.
Well, also you were saying they can't be too thick for this baking process, so that's all.
Yeah.
How are the smaller appendages about coming out of the mold?
When I it's touch and go. I learn as I go. You know, the usually when I'm doing a mold, which I'm not in this case, I'm just building another sculpture. I'm going to sell the sculpture itself. But when I cast something, I keep the molding process in mind and try to keep everything so I don't get too many underbites or anything like that. Because then there's just repair work to do, and I hate doing repairs later.
Have you ever used any of the life cap stuff?
No.
What is the one I have? So Smooth On actually has a product for cast. So like it's skin safe. It's meant for like if you're casting your hand or you're casting someone's mold of someone's head or something like that. I've been using it for like I made a little test head on one of the last shows here. I called it Bill, and I made his nose stick out on purpose because I have another sculpture up here that I had done that I don't want to mess up in the molding process. I want to be able to recreate him, and he has arms that stick out. So I use that as the test because if I ruin the sculpt that I did in like 40 minutes, boo-hoo. The one that I spent like 3 hours on, I'd be a little more upset.
Yeah.
But what I found is because you can put such a thin layer on there, you can actually kind of stretch the mold inside out on itself for some of those thinner spots.
Huh. Yeah, I haven't encountered that. This Umu 30, these molds are really tough. They usually tear my sculpture apart, for instance.
So
here's what happened to the Shrunken Mickey original sculpt that I pulled out, and both of his ears came off and broke off. And you know, that doesn't really bother me because the initial sculpt, as much as I love it, what I want in the end.
A repeatable product
is this guy, you know?
Yeah.
That looks really cool.
The stuff I was talking about is Smooth On Body Double Silk.
Body Double Silk. I'll keep that in mind. I almost never strive for realism, but sometimes, never know.
Yeah, I mean, silicone's really great about pulling off your details.
Pardon?
Silicone's really nice about pulling your details for you.
Yeah.
You don't tend to lose all the little finer details that you sculpted into your piece.
Right.
And the nice stuff about that is because since it's meant to do a life cast, it is meant to pull everything. I used that stuff when I did my life cast, and you can see the pores on my nose.
Wow.
In recast. So
that's interesting. Yeah. I'm just wondering what I'm going to do with this guy. So
if you make a piece and then you resculpt it, how much are you aiming to get back to the same piece? Or
it's
like get a little bit of its own personality?
Yeah, they always do. just I was surprised when this one went right away. So I thought, well, I'll make another one. And usually every time I resculpt a piece, it's a little bit better than the last time I did it. I mean, there were some things about the first sculpt that I didn't like that I'm going to correct. This one's also going to be a little bit smaller. And I probably give him a bigger mouth with more teeth than I did on this guy. Because, you can always use more teeth. The teeth kind of sell my things. I'll show you where when I started back camera. I started by doing the teeth first. And once I get what looks like realistic teeth, then everything else sort of comes into play. And it gives us kind of a cool feeling. That's the very first one I did when the pandemic started 3 years ago, just because that's how I was feeling. And I've been selling stuff basically off this wall for 3 years.
I know when we spoke at Metal Arc, you said it was kind of a family thing for you.
Yes. My great grandson.
How much is your grandkid still, or how much is your grandson still helping with them?
Oh, he just gave me another idea he wants me to start working on this week. This is one that was his idea. This one's called Peeper. These guys are his idea. They're called Brain Dead, and they sell pretty well. And his most recent is the Brain Spiders.
One of the ones I was really digging that I saw on your Instagram was the little brain turtle guys.
Yeah, brain turtles. I have kind of a wide range of brain toys. Let me see if I can figure out where the camera is. But yeah. It's the opposite of what I think it is.
Yeah, it's a weird mirror effect.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So these are my range of terrible toys, and these are my favorite thing to sell and ship because I rotocast them all and they're all super light and don't cost very much in terms of postage, which of course I cover. My most popular things are still these five-eyed fleshopoid weirdo monster things. And of course, where is this guy? I sell more.
Are you using paint or a glaze on those?
What's that?
Got a paint or a glaze on those?
Paint. But I put shinies. I put a shiny coat on all the shiny stuff, like eyeballs and brains and anything that should be juicy and yucky looking. Just a clear acrylic glaze. Some of them may have lost their luster.
Those are paint, you said a clear acrylic, so are the acrylic-based paints you're using as well?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's just acrylic-based paints. This is the gloss medium that I use.
All right.
And my paints are, when I said I use cheap acrylics.
Yeah, those look like the hobby store.
Yep, hobby store acrylics, exactly.
I mean, you go cheaper. I got apple yard I'm about to use.
But they've never given me any trouble in terms of
Yeah.
fading in sunlight or anything like that. Once I learned how to use them,
So, have you seen the blacklight acrylic paints?
yeah,
Those might work for a nice little accent inside of some of your pieces there. You have that very kind of psychedelic look to them.
yeah. My great grandson pulled out a tube of fluorescent pink last time we were at the store, and so I figure I have to figure out a place to use them too.
So, I did a horror movie cosplay. It was based off of Return of the Night of the Living Dead. The cover, the dude in the leather jacket with the chain across. And I did highlights with a black light green, like in some like the creases of the nose, any of the wrinkle spots. So if you, and then I just kept a little freaking black light flashlight on me, so I could just kind of like, when I'm putting my hand out, I hide it in my palm and try it back at myself. And it worked really well for freaking getting just that little bit of pop in there.
Cool.
I mean, Billy Zane complimented it, so I was happy with that.
Yeah, nice.
I mean, if it's good enough for spin on that many horror sets. Oh, why are my brushes so hard? Yeah, you don't really need expensive paints, but I do recommend a decent set of brushes, personally. Your brushes will do more for you than the paint does.
Yeah, I use, oddly enough, I use Winsor Newton Series 7 fine sable watercolor brushes for my underpainting. And then for my dry brush, I use whatever old worn out hog bristle I have on hand that fits the space. So I dry brush almost everything. There's no single color, but I like to get a deep background color on the first layer and then dry brush a lighter color over top so all the little details pop.
Yeah, get that nice base coat in there, and then that's kind of what I'm doing right now, putting my base coats in. Because this is actually foam clay. I cast it out of a mold. It's the color piece from Spawn that holds the table. So I sculpted this out of monster clay, and then made a posture mold for it. And then you stick the foam clay in there, and then you stick it in the freezer for part of it for like a couple hours, and then it'll pop right out. You can trim off the flash with a pair of scissors, and then it's just a piece of foam. Keeps it real light. So, yeah. Keeps it nice and light. The better foam clays will actually pick up a lot of detail. It's really good for like costume stuff, especially. You can get what is it? The basic stuff you can get at any Hobby Lobby, anything like that. I think Michael's is the one that tends to carry it.
Yeah, I like Michael's.
Yeah, Michael's is the better one for it. But there's this other brand, Foam Forge. Foamforge.store. Their stuff is going to be the higher quality stuff. You get more detail out of it. And they are actually, we met them at a Metal Arc up there. So they're up in your area.
Where are you?
I'm in Sacramento.
Oh.
We're a couple hours from you. But we will be back up that direction in about a month. because there's a anime show in that same venue.
That's right.
So we will be back up in your area soon. I need a bigger brush.
Are you building stuff for that, or?
That one I have not gotten that far yet. Yeah. So I have not gotten that far. We have a show this weekend that we're at, and then that's local here, and then the weekend after that we're all the way up in Washington. So once we get past Washington, we'll figure out Medford.
Cool. So do you basically do podcasts at all the shows, or?
Okay. So when I do the Colossus Girl shows, our friends are putting there in the chat there. They host the majority of the panels for the Colossus Girl shows, and I am basically running all the backline all at once. So I'm doing the lighting, the sound, and the camera all at once for the panels.
Cool.
Running around and then sit still for a second, and then run around and then sit still for a lot of that.
Yeah.
And then in the morning and the afternoon, so when the cosplay contest goes on, because that's not us, and in the morning before the first panel, I'll run around and they'll do interviews like the one I did with you at Metal Art.
Cool.
So I tend to line up as many as I can on Saturday, and then that way Sunday I can just kind of blast through them as quick as possible.
Neat.
Try to get a book or many of them backed as possible.
Do you go to shows a lot, Ken?
Pardon?
Do you go to more conventions other than Metal Arc?
No, I don't travel out of the area. At this point, we're both retired, and I'm more inclined to just sculpt and stay in the area. And in the area, I kept as busy as I wanted to be this year and last year, but I could do a few more. But pretty much I just stay in the area, and I just sell through my Etsy store.
Okay.
We have one coming in the end of August in Grants Pass. I forget what it's called. It's put on by something weird at Iguana Comics, and in Grants Pass. Well, I'll be putting up a little tent and a bunch of terrible toys at that one, and then then as Halloween draws near, I do the haunted houses and usually get a little booth or a table in those and sell a lot. I sold a lot at haunted house. There's a couple haunted houses here, and I do pretty good at that. And then around Christmas, there's another one. And then I usually wait until Rogue Comic Con in Medford comes again. And that's usually the big one for me. But basically, I'm a retired old art director selling monsters for my friends through the mail, through Etsy. Not really looking to build a career, but it's so much fun to do with my kids and my family that I do it for pleasure.
So you just said you were an art director. What kind of art were you working with before?
I was an art director for Harry and David, a big catalog company in the direct sales business for, I don't know, 20 years. Not retired from all that business. Advertising is not where it's at for me, and I'm glad to be done.
Yeah. I noticed when you were showing us your piece, you had a guitar there.
Oh yeah,
What kind of what style of music do you tend to play on there?
I'm a I don't know what they call it. Swampadelic monster rock is what how we promoted the band. I haven't been playing for well, it's been maybe 6 months now. I had some heart trouble and had a harder time being on stage and getting through those long nights in bars, you know.
Yeah. It gets late real quick on you.
But it's fun. I mean, it's fun too. I like writing songs and screaming them out.
Sometimes that's the best way to let it out. It's just scream.
Yes, indeed. And there was a
Yeah.
lot to scream about the last few years. So,
Yeah. Me and my girl are both musicians, so I'm more. I tend to be more bass. She's guitar and vocals.
yeah, I'm a guitar and vocal. I've been playing since I was very little, and have been in bands pretty much all my life. But yeah, Honeymoon Killers, and I don't know if these posters if you can even
Yeah,
read
I
them,
can see those.
if they make any sense.
They look like old horror movie posters.
I use a lot of old horror movie imagery. Yes.
That's like half our house, actually.
Oh, well, good for you. You're living right.
I mean, I'm a big horror movie fan. You can see over one of her shoulders that is a signed Halloween poster, signed by the person that wrote the book. And then
Wow.
over on the other side, there's a bunch of like Hellraiser and Trick or Treat and stuff like that over there.
Oh
So,
gosh, yeah, Hellraiser and Trick or Treat, near and dear to my heart. Probably
yeah,
the most recent horror movie that I really got off on that I probably shouldn't have. It's a really guilty pleasure. Is a Terrifier and Terrifier 2.
I have not gotten around to those ones. There's
Yeah.
so much media to take in now that it's
Yeah.
just like it's on the list. But there's so much to watch.
I think they're both on Peacock now. But if you really like special effects and like well done 80s gore practical special effects, the Terrifier movies are rocking.
Yeah,
And
I mean, my favorite movie still is the first Hellraiser.
Yeah,
Has been
I'm with you.
since I was like 8.
Oh, see, I'm a lot older. I'm 70. I'm going to be 76 next month. So,
Yeah.
I
I've actually gotten 2 chances now to talk to Doug Bradley.
Oh wow.
And the first time I met him,
Conventions will get you. Yeah.
the first time I met him, I showed up with when I was in welding school. I made a table that has a side profile of Pinhead with the box behind him.
Wow.
Seeing speed out of the top of the box, and I had him sign it, and he's like, "Is there anything particular you want written?" I'm like, "Whatever whatever excites you." And he writes on there, "See you in hell, Doug Bradley," and then put the bloodline symbol on there. So
wow.
That's my side table for my recliner now, because I have the Pinhead table signed by Pinhead himself.
That's awesome. See, you really make something from being a maker, don't you?
Yeah, no, I grew up around construction and everything. I have one uncle that does auto body. I have another one of my uncles was a concrete guy. I have family members a couple family members that are plumbers. My dad's a carpenter. I grew up around all that stuff. I mean, when I was in elementary school, I used to get told you have to finish your homework before you can go work on the car.
Wow.
Because I wanted to go climb under the hood of the, what was that thing? It was I want to say it was 67 Chevy pickup.
Uh-huh.
So I want to go crawl under the hood and play with the freaking carburetor and stuff and get the thing to, because that dude, it's an old truck. There's always something to do to it. So I helped my uncle with that thing. He has his El Camino, 71 El Camino board, and sleeved, Auburn posi rear end. Beautiful car.
I always admired mechanics and people who built rat rods and custom cars, and always wanted to, but always busy doing something else. Just
so
admire.
every guy that's building a car. That's why my Scout still doesn't have an engine in it, because I'm always busy. It's in the process. It's just hasn't moved forward in a little while. But it's not a waste until you give up. I mean, that's anything you're building. It's not dead until you've given up on building it.
Right. Sometimes sometimes I just have to let the dead ones lie at the side of the road and move on. No.
Yeah, I mean, also sometimes you can just let those dead ones sit off to the side, and eventually you walk past and go, "Oh, I can do something with that," and take it up and do something different with it.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, the first Star Wars, most of the ships were made out of model kits that were torn apart, and we'll steal the engine off of this Corvette and stick it on the outside of the spaceship because it looks interesting.
Yeah. All that texture by was it Phil Tippett?
Yeah.
Somebody like that. All that
Phil Tippett was one of them. There was a couple guys doing it, but Phil Tippett was definitely one of the main guys there.
Yeah, I admire that. I love that stuff. I love that practical stuff. I was a computer animator for Trilobite for a while. They were an early introducer of CD-ROM games. I don't know if you're young enough to remember when CD-ROM games were all the big rage. And,
I remember floppy games.
oh, well, then you remember.
We're millennials. We grew up in the 90s.
So, yeah, they came out with a game called The Seventh Guest, which was a sort of a horror adventure game, and they hired me to do work on some of their follow-ups, and I learned to computer animate characters there and really loved it. But eventually we burned through all the startup money and had to go do something else.
So, with you having worked in advertisement and then also in computer animation, did you ever get crossover there?
No. It was completely different disciplines. Though, I could always draw, so I would, that applied to both. But yeah, no, now.
I was just knowing a lot of the early computer animation stuff, even like most of what Pixar started itself on, was all commercial stuff.
Oh yeah.
Pixar started doing like Colgate commercials and stuff.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So. No, I never got into that kind of video. I did cutscenes. They were called cutscenes for the games, like when a head would explode or ants would come crawling out of somewhere, and
Yeah, the old school things, when you open a door, they played a little like 2-second video, so it gave them time to load the next scene or next
exactly,
map.
exactly. And then so there were things like a toothpaste monster would jump out at you and stuff like that. That was fun. I mean, that was definitely the coolest 9 to 5er I had. I was previous to that, I was a graphic designer for newspapers and art directed for newspapers for a while, but that kind of dried up. And that's when I got into the heavier advertising at the the catalog world. Anyway, I'm glad to be out of it now, and like I said before, just making monsters for my friends.
I mean, it's definitely something different than what I see in most places. That's always what I'm looking for when I go out to do my interviews. I go to a lot of conventions, and the amount of 3D print booths and then just like basic prints that are like rehashes of stuff that you see over and over is crazy. I mean, there might be slight differences in interpretation, but there's a lot of repeat in the market there. So I'm always looking for the thing that's a little different to talk to those people, because if your image is different, then your way of thinking about it might be different.
Yeah. Well, I'm realizing that I'm definitely different. I'm totally untrained, and I'm not bothered by fingernail marks or signs that a human being has actually done this. Like nothing I hate more than, well, I just don't dig computer made AI assisted anything. And that up to now, I haven't seen any oh geez, what do they call it when you print out a 3D model? I used to make 3D models, and I just don't. It doesn't make me. It doesn't give me any satisfaction. That's what I mean to say. Everybody can do what they want to do, but printing out 3D models, I don't kind of get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I've made things, but I always take the thing and then I make my own out of it. So, like, this is one of the things we're giving away is this Leo Pleurodon that I printed out when we get to 200. But I gave him a goofy eye. I gave him blood stains all over him. I gave him personality. He's all hand painted, so.
Yeah. I can dig that. So on that kind of plastic, how do you paint it?
Same stuff, same basic acrylic paints.
You gesso it?
That one I did not. It kind of depends on which material you're using. So like that one's PLA. If you were doing, and you can get away with a lot on PLA because it's such a rigid, hard plastic, and because you have a little unless you sand it ridiculously smooth, you have all these little grooves that want to hold everything. So you can get away with a lot on there. You do tend to have to put 2-3 coats if you're doing light colors, just because bleed through is a big thing with that. So like that, the eyeball on that guy, I think there's 3 coats of white on there, just to get it white enough. The other thing I will use is I have an airbrush down here, and I use my airbrush paints even on a brush sometimes.
Wow.
just because they're a little bit heavier. They have like surface tension to them, so you can kind of drip it in there as like and make like a bubble over the surface and let it sit on the top as it dries.
Interesting. I've been using one of the cheapest resins I can get, Smooth Cast 300, which is super bright white. So I don't have a problem with things being white enough, but I do have a problem with getting any tooth on the surface so I can paint properly. So I use gesso. I use a lot of gesso.
Yeah. Which is basically a liquid canvas.
Yeah, yeah.
That's I don't know if you've seen any of the video of the guys that will do like the paintings on the thrift store paints or paintings. They'll like add characters to them and stuff. A lot of those guys will do their sketch and then they'll gesso the silhouette and then they'll paint over it.
Got it.
That because you never know what the last guy put on there. It could be oils. It could be some kind of weird clear on there. You never know what the last guy put. So that's what I've noticed. A lot of them are doing is they're using the gesso to give themselves a base as well. So, all right. So what time? Doing pretty good here. So you use what kind of wire are you using? Is it like an aluminum wire, modeling wire you're using?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's another Michael's or my local art supply store. And it comes in, I only use these two thicknesses. I don't know what they are. It cuts real easy.
Nice heavy base and a little bit lighter one for like limbs and stuff.
Yeah, there's a lighter one inside these legs here, which I'm starting to build up with aluminum foil. I do a lot with aluminum foil. So like I said, I don't want to have a inch thick chunk of clay on there. Not only do I need to save clay, which is kind of expensive, but it makes it lighter for shipping. The more foil, the better. In fact, when I make a character, this is an example of the kind of armature that I built for a character. Just straight aluminum foil dude. He's going to turn into a big robot monster guy. I made 3 of those. And that's kind of what it looks like underneath. Maybe I should just sell tinfoil characters. I don't know.
So when you do your robot there, you going with like a silver on him?
A what? A real fur?
Your
No.
base is going to be something like a silver thing?
No, I just carve out the fur with modeling tools. And
yeah, no, I mean, but for the robot, the metal on the robot, I'm guessing you're going to base it with silver and then do highlights from there.
I just use silver paint and it catches it catches the light real nice the way it is. It's almost a mirror silver. I wish I had one. There, I sold them all.
Hey, that's a good problem to have.
And it's not it's not as fancy as if you had a Mattel or somebody built a robot monster. This one is built by a human being with his own take on it. So it's not machine perfect.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I like about them. They're kind of funky and like outlaw cartoons and early hot rod crazy art.
Yeah. So one thing that if you ever want to get like a shiny, really shiny silver, put a gloss black down and then put your silver over that.
Oh, I will do that. I'll try that. I pop silver and copper in once in a while on quite a few of my things. Just for
If you want to get metals to look more shiny, closer to chrome, like polished, that you go with gloss black. Typically with most metals, if you put black under it, it will make it look nicer. The shinier the black is, the shinier the metal will lay down, because it's about having that smooth coat for it to lay in on. Things like Din Djarin's helmet. A lot of people, when they make those Mando helmets, what they're doing is they're painting them high gloss black, and then they're coming through with a rub and buff, silver rub and buff, and it just brings that silver out to a point where it's like you have to knock it back down.
For instance, this is one of the typical ways that I use silver paint on
Stitches there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it works.
Yeah.
I just wanted it to pop them. And again, it's cheap paint.
Yeah.
CHEAP. But the store that was selling it went out of business. So during their going out of business sale, I bought as many tubes as I could, and I'm still going through them. Half price on cheap paint.
Hey, you maybe you can find it online somewhere. We'll get it there.
You can. I've looked it up. I've gone to Liquitex since when I run out of a color, and I don't use that many colors. I mix a lot to get the colors I want. But when I run out of color, I just go to Liquitex, and it's a cheap paint too.
All right.
I've used some golden paints, and people tell me that they were better, but I didn't really feel much difference.
Yeah. Anymore, when I do golds, I tend to use what is this stuff? Pretex airbrush color. I just buy it over at Hobby Lobby. So
Yeah.
And it's pearlized, so you got a little bit of metal flake in there, give it the sparkly shinies.
Huh. Yeah, I don't do Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
There was something about their politics. I can't remember what it was, but something pissed me off, so I don't go there.
Another thing that if you're interested, that you could always try is, I had to find it online because I couldn't find it anywhere locally for me. But this stuff right here is called permablood, and it will give you super realistic, like gore blood. It's what a lot of the movies use. And even when it dries, you can touch it, and it doesn't transfer.
It doesn't what?
It doesn't transfer over. So, like, when you touch it, it's not going to come off on your skin once it dries. Yeah, it's dry. So, like, you can see on the top, the clasp there, the red. I can touch it, and nothing on my fingertip there.
Wow.
But it still looks super wet, and it makes a nice gore effect if you need a nice blood in
let's
there.
put that down. Gore blood. I do.
Permablood. We have your information. I'll send you the picture of it.
And where do you get that?
I found it on Etsy last time. I kind of just wander through the internet wherever I can find it.
Uh-huh.
But I'm gonna have to order some more soon. I ran through like half my bottle on a commission piece I did not that long ago. Or that this is part of actually. That the dog that I showed you when I was up in Medford. I think I showed you the picture of that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I that all those guts. That's all perma blood on top of red paint and black paint. All the guts are.
Yeah, it looked great.
So.
Nice and shiny and yucky.
It's hard finding fake blood that stays looking wet and doesn't get everything.
That's why I use acrylic gloss. I use a couple of coats of acrylic gloss over top of whatever I want to look wet, and it stays shiny for years. The only problem that I've run into is sometimes it'll be sticky, and people are wary that it's going to crack.
I've noticed a lot of people are starting to go to, they make dropper bottles of UV resin, and a lot of people are going to that for like on top of eyeballs and stuff like that.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Because
clear epoxy.
You get that nice glossiness, but you hit it with the UV light and it cures instantly.
Huh.
So, I have not tried it yet. I still need to get a bottle, but there's just too many fun things to spend your money on these days.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And usually for me, it's just more clay or more resin or more molds, zip.
Yeah.
There's just...
Yeah, I know the feeling. I just bought a big old freaking gallon thing of silicone the other day. So
my materials, if I bought a gallon, they would go bad before I finally finished it up, because I do little things. This stuff doesn't have a very long shelf life. The stuff I use, the Umu 30 resins, I don't know how many times I've had to send silicone back because it's gone. It's usually the A that gets hard prematurely, or sometimes
it gets clumpy in there. It just gets clumpy in the jar. I've had that before with some of the smooth on stuff.
And it's so frustrating.
Yeah, especially when you're trying to get something done and you open the jar and you're like, oh, that's not good.
Yeah. Now I open the jar when it gets here, so I can turn it right away and send it back and get another one.
Yeah, it's never fun to you left it on the shelf too long. You're like, cool, I have the product. You pull it off the shelf and you're like, oh, it's lumpy.
Yeah. Or just a hard piece of pink rubber that doesn't even get penetrated, which is
that's even worse. At least when it gets like the cottage cheese, if you're willing to put the effort in, you can kind of break it up and bring it back somewhat.
Yeah.
But once it's solid, you're done.
Yeah. I think I would bet these are about this Umu that I have in here. It feels like it's pretty full, but I'll bet that they're gone by now. I had so many, what for me was a lot of shows this season, and I haven't gone back into casting for a while.
Yeah, that happens.
It looks like it's still got a little bit of life left to it.
Got that? But you're at the cottage cheese.
Something else.
The clumpies.
It's just moving like a snail in the bottom of the thing. So I think if it'll still move, I can usually pound it out. But
yeah, one thing I found you can do with that also is just take the fat popsicle stick, the tongue depressor, give it a good stir before you start pouring. It tends to help get it moving,
yeah.
get some of that internal friction going in there, so it warms up a little bit. It kind of helps reconnect the mixture there.
Yeah. I use these free paint sticks from my local Lowe's for stirring. They're a little stiffer. I break popsicle sticks when the rubber's too hard.
I've been there. I've been there before. I know that feeling. And then you're like, pop! Oh, now I gotta dig that out of the freaking goop.
Ah. I don't want to be boring.
Huh?
I hope I'm not boring you.
Oh no, he's just focused on stuff. He gets a little sidetracked sometimes.
I'm dry brushing at the same time we're talking.
I'm really not doing much. I'm just putting this brain thing together.
Getting the squiggles on.
I usually make I make the teeth separately so I can shove them in after. Yeah, I make and bake them so they're hard, so I can shove them in without messing up the rest of the sculpt later.
So much of your stuff having the octopus tips, or so for those suction cups, are you just making little balls and then like dimpling it? But I noticed they tend to have like little creases in there. Are you using a tool to make the creases on there? Or?
I don't know. I can't explain it. They should all be perfect, but of course they're not.
Well, that's nature.
Yeah. And sometimes they break, and when they come out of the cast, there'll be a little bit of an undercut that the process didn't like, an air bubble or something. So I have to use some fill or do some drilling or some cutting or some sanding. But yeah, no, what I'm aiming for is a perfect sucker on each one. But like I said, this is all humans' hands, and my human hands aren't perfect.
Are you using a mold release with them at all, or?
Oh yeah. Between every cast, I use this stuff.
You got the Appel.
Appel, yeah.
Yeah.
Mold release.
Ended up getting the legit smooth on. I heard when I was looking at reviews, they got about the same review. Smooth on the Appel, and there was a couple other brands that were getting decent ones there. So I take it you're spraying the mold, then you're doing your roll cast, and then baking it, and then demolding it.
What? No, I'm.
So you're spraying the mold, and then you're doing your roll cast to put your material in there. And then how's the casting material curing in there? Are you?
Yeah. Well, it cures. Usually,
is it air?
I keep.
Is it air, or is it a bake cure? Or?
I'm sorry, I don't understand. I pour the mixed AB resin on top of the mold here, and then I do this for 10 minutes, watching the clock. And then I set it down, wait another 10 minutes, pop it open, and
okay, so it's an air care.
Air care.
It's the air. It's curing just from the thermal reaction of itself.
Exactly.
The two parts.
Exactly. The white plastic thing pops out of here. sometimes with a different imperfection each time, but I go and fix all those.
When you make your molds, are you putting keyways in your cuts, or are you just kind of pulling it away however it wants to go?
I'm sorry. I'm
So when
guessing
you
on how much
pull out your original piece, are you cutting the little zigzag teeth in it so it
yeah,
marries up just right?
exactly. You see
Okay.
that? And
Yeah,
and then when I've done it so many times that I know, usually I even have written on the top how much liquid it's going to
material.
take. And it's a 1-to-1 by volume.
Yeah.
And that's how I mix it. And I put, when I'm rotocasting, I put maybe about a third or half as much as it would take to fill, so that the inside is all air.
So I'm guessing you have, after working with the material for as long as you've been playing with it, you kind of just have like, all right, it's about this size. It should take roughly this much material.
Exactly. And when it comes out perfect, that's when I write the number on the top of the mold. And so usually I can remember, like I've done so many of these this Timmy shrunken head that I know he can be done in just 2, whatever they are, milliliters, because I've done hundreds of them, all hand painted.
So, on average, how long does it take you to complete just one piece?
That's really hard to say. If it's from sculpt to mold to cast to paint, probably 3 days. But at the end of that 3 days, I'll probably end up with 8 of that piece. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So are you doing
I don't make
bulk paint job?
my time doesn't pay for my time at all. But my time is it's immaterial to me. I just want to, because I would be doing it even if I wasn't making any money at it, because it's so much fun. But it's not so much fun about the 100th time I paint the same damn thing. and these little vessels in his eyeballs. My wife knows when it's eyeball vessel day because they're such a pain in the butt. And especially because they keep selling out, I have to make like a dozen at a time.
Mm.
And I don't know. I don't know.
So are you casting a bunch of them and then just line them all up and paint one and do the next one?
Exactly. And I do the underpainting on all of them, and then I do the next color. Yeah, I do one color at a time.
Kind of assembly line style.
Exactly, like I'm a factory. I pretend to be a factory. And it's fun to be a factory sometimes too.
Oh, yeah. Just last night I was making buttons.
Yeah.
Adam Savage has a line. Being a creator on a mass scale is being okay with monotonous tasks.
Yeah.
And finding the fun in it.
Yeah, that's true. The funnest part, of course, is the first sketch and the first sculpt, but it's all fun. It's all good. And I'm no high paid pro, but I do get a lot of positive feedback. All my customers seem to like their things, and that's My reviews on Etsy are a top notch,
Yeah.
which I'm kind of proud of.
Yeah, I looked at your Etsy last week. I didn't see anything negative there at all.
Hey,
So.
yeah, I haven't added any of my new things to that for a long time, and it started to show. It feels pretty old, but yeah, those shrunken heads and the five-eyed monster guys are just sort of keeping my Etsy in business right now.
As long as it pays for the clay.
Yeah, well, yeah. I buy. Well, to me, it's a lot of clay. It's I buy 8 pound, 8 pounds at a time, like this,
I think you,
and it costs. I think the last time it cost me about $100.
I mean, some of those, but if you were to buy those little packs one at a time, it'd cost you a lot more than that.
Yes, indeed.
So sometimes it just pays off to take that hurt, that one-time hurt to not
Exactly.
hurt a bunch of little times.
Yeah.
All right. We are at about 6:30 here, so let's go ahead and start doing some of the wrap-up stuff here. Let's see, make sure we got through all the stuff I had here for you. Question real quick for you. Are there any techniques for working with the clay that you found that you do differently than most people? Like,
You know what? To tell you the truth, I don't know what most people do. I I've never had a sculpting lesson. I've watched YouTube videos about how to cast and mold, but I don't. I enjoy the great sculptors like Jordy and the special effects guys that we used to watch on Face Off. You know, I love all those guys,
yeah.
but that's the only sculpting lessons I've ever had was watching that show. And I think that probably what I do different from the other sculptors is basically everything. I'm not too concerned about smooth surfaces, and I try to go over and add as much texture as I can. And I'm sure that what, you know, I don't know what I've learned by doing that would be of use to anybody else, except once you put a little bit of clay in your hand and you start messing with it and making things out of it, it's just so, to me, it's like magic. It's just, while we were sitting here, I was working on making a little head, and just for fun, you know. This Super Sculpey, I gotta say, is really, really wonderful. I have lots of tools. I tend to go buy all the tools that I could find when I first started, and I used probably 4 or 5 of them. I also keep my brushes in the same block because I don't like having to go look up all my brushes every time I'm ready to paint.
Yeah, that's a great one there. Do you get the cheap stuff at first, find what works for you, and then buy the nicer ones of those?
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
I mean, 90% of the clay tools you probably don't even touch anymore.
Right.
Those you have to sit and collect dust. And there's probably, I'm guessing you have somewhere around 10 tools you actually use on a regular.
Probably, yeah. And I use them in weird ways. Like I use this guy for dotting irises, and this guy for dotting the pupil. And then these are clay tools,
Yeah,
but
couple
I
fall
use,
tips.
I use them when I'm painting, and I don't see the guy that I use for putting a little white highlight. I like the old style cartoon eyeballs. Ah, this one for putting in the highlight. So yeah,
That one, the one that you said for the highlight, is that a silicone brush?
yeah. No, it's
Another
a
metal?
yeah, it's a round metal. And this is also this is for sculpting. This is rubber. It's silicone, I guess.
Yeah.
Of course, it depends on the size of
Well,
the piece.
is you said you had a show coming up in a couple while here, so you want to give whatever pluggables you have where people might find you, your Etsy shop, and anything like that?
Yeah, well, my Etsy shop is called Art Dogs Creative. My uh, Facebook art page is also called Art Dogs Creative, and my Instagram is Art Dogs Creative. So if you can remember Art Dogs Creative, that's where all my upcoming should be. And I just booked the show today in Grants Pass on uh, August 30th from 5 to 9 at Iguana Comics, I believe, and I don't know the address, but it's in Grants Pass, Oregon. So Iguana Comics.
All right. Well, it was great talking to you today.
Nice talking to you, man. And nice to meet your wife too, or partner.
Yeah. So, well, we will keep it moving here. In the links we have put, or in the
Chat
oh, what is it called? Not the chat. The
description.
description. Yeah, that thing. In the description we put links to your Instagram and to your
Etsy.
Etsy page there. So if anyone wants to
Terrific.
go see it, please go look at that. There's also a link to the other interview we did with you. So in the description.
Cool.
So hopefully everyone go take a look at it, give it some likes, give it lots of love.
Order some stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you much.
All right.
You're going to send me the link to
Have a
this
great
show?
one, Nash.
Yep.
We'll do.
We'll send all the things.
Okay. Good to meet you. Nice talking to you.
You too.
Have fun down the road.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye.
Have a good one, Nash. And then there were 2. All right. So what I got done is I made a bloody dog collar. I am going to probably dirty this some. I just haven't dug out the stuff and it's buried in a mess over there. So I will do that in a little bit here. But I blade up the name tag and give it a little texture there. The other thing I did while we were talking there is I got the base coat on there for the black, and then I also got the first coat of gray on there. So it's starting to give some of the highlights. I will end up going over this with a lighter gray and then a silver. And that is what I got today on our projects. Now it is your turn to do something. So,
Woo, my turn. Okay, guys. So, if you were watching Distance Nerding last night, you would have heard me say I'm going to be at VerseCon. We're all going to be at VerseCon. We're going to be there with Sack Geeks. It's Pokemon themed this year, and there's going to be a bunch of Pokemon voice actors, artists, and there's going to be cosplay contests. and there's going to be groups such as Team Inferno, Cosplay Dropouts. They're also doing a Pokemon meetup. And Sat Geeks and the Cosplay Travelers have teamed up together to host the cosplay contest this time around, which will be emceed by yours truly. So you guys come on down and look forward to that. Come stop by the Sat Geeks table, spin the wheel and get a prize. You can enter the cosplay contest and show off your stuff because they have gotten a lot of good prizes this time around, and it's going to be fun to be doing that this weekend at the Scottish Rite Center here in Sacramento. The weekend after that, we will be traveling up to Washington with Distance Nerding to Tri-Cities Powerhouse Comic-Con. It's going to be the first time there. I know there's going to be a lot of amazing people. There's going to be the voice actors from Sonic the Hedgehog, and there's going to be, oh my gosh, I'm blanking her name, but April O'Neil from the second and third live action Ninja Turtle movies from the 90s. So that is really fun. We're looking forward to that as well. Now, if you can't travel that far and still want to go down to something, you can travel a little further, but still within California, and go to San Jose for GalaxyCon. Again, they're going to have a buttload of celebrity guests there too. Like so much fun stuff there. And it's a 3-day event in San Jose downtown. It'll be lots of fun a lot more fun for you guys there too. Don't worry about it. So if you can't make it to Washington, get on down to San Jose. And then the weekend after that, Sat Geeks is holding their monthly Geek Pride Market. This time it'll be retro video game themed at the famous Lucid Winery on R Street in downtown Sacramento. So you guys, it's free. All you have to do is scan the QR code so we can get a head count of how many people are there. You can bring the kids if you want. It's family friendly. Okay? So you can bring that. And then the following, like this month, is just con. So we're ending the month of August with SAC Anime Comic-Con Summer 2025. 3 days of all kinds of more fun guests, celebrities, cosplay meetups, and also starting it off with the Geek Fashion Show. I know that they are getting everything underway. It's most likely gonna be on Friday of SAC Anime. So if you're there day one, please head over to the Geek Fashion Show and cheer on the models and the designers. They all work really hard to put on an amazing show. Dougie is the coordinator for it, and he does awesome work for it. Cindy Rue organizes the models and the designers and gets everyone paired up, and it's just an amazing event. So I hope you guys can all make it to that as well. And that wraps that up.
Oh, I'm just doing dirty washes, make the color look more real. More weathered in. Playing with the black scene where they get away with on this piece. Because I have no clue what I'm doing sometimes. I'm just doing. Well,
you go until it's done, until something happens.
Hey, sometimes it comes out really cool. Sometimes not so much. But sometimes it's really cool. When not so cool, you just kind of work with it until it does. In every project, there is a point where you think you destroyed it. And then it comes back, usually. Alright, so I think that is going to about do it for us today. We will see you guys Tuesday on Distance Nerding. And then Wednesday, we will be here again, and we will be taking that yellow box back over here and making a full con kit for ourselves out of it. So we're going to be adding we're going to be doing all kinds of interesting structural work and taking something old that we have and making it into something what we need it to be. So hopefully we see you all there, and you guys have a great day, and we will see you guys Tuesday on Distance Nerdy.
Yeah, because we'll be talking about VerseCon on the show.
Yes. And remember, be a maker, not a hater.